What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Show. Ramon, Cheeze, myself, Hannah's behind the cameras directing this madness that has already started. Wait till you see the outtakes.
Yeah, seriously.
We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to do a brand new giveaway for Todd Casey's The Art of Still Life. We're getting cultured and shit, yo. We got ourselves a veritable art textbook to give you guys.
Yeah, we're not fooling anybody with that.
Plus, we've got Aftershocks God Killers, Dark Horse's Bang, Hellboy and the BPRD, The Return of Effie Kolb, Hunters, Eye for Eye, Tooth for Tooth, DC's Unkillables, The Plunge from Joe Hill, Images on the Stump. From Mad Cave Studios, we got Savage Bastards. Marvel gives us 2020 Machine Man, Marvel Voices, and a brand new Wolverine #1 from Adam Kubert. Valiant gives us Bloodshot, again, and Dr. Tomorrow. So, it's about time to break out the Glenlivet, because I need a drink.
Yes, sir.
This is that nifty new bottle that they were advertising called Enigma. It's got no taster's notes on it, so it's kind of up to us to decide like what's in it, what it tastes like. It's a little pricey, but
apparently they have a website where you have to do, I guess, figure out a puzzle to determine the notes on the beverage if you can't pick up on it yourself. So that's pretty cool.
It's a cool bottle, though.
That's a cool dope looking bottle.
Salud! Salud to all of you. Here's to the start of the weekend. Yes, folks, I'm off tomorrow.
You and me both. That's spicier than...
Little smokier than usual. Yeah. That's actually closer to their 16-year Nadora.
Okay.
Okay.
Still damn good, because, I mean, it's Glenlivet. Like, you really can't go wrong.
I'm going to let a little splashy.
Ah,
Splashy?
cool.
You have your own splashy.
I have my own splashy.
Alrighty.
Splashy splash.
So, let me tell you about what I did last night. Besides just fall asleep, like at a very early time.
He didn't just fall asleep.
I crashed. I totally crashed. Every now and then, like, my body reminds me that, hey, you're human and you do need to sleep. So, like, once a month, I allow myself to get 6 hours instead of my usual 3. But I went to a book signing and art demo for a good friend of mine from work by the name of Todd Casey. He's a very, very talented oil painter. He just published this brand new book, The Art of Still Life, which, if you are into art in any way, shape, or form, or its many forms, I highly encourage you to take a look at that. According to Todd, he wrote this book and put it all together because he wanted it to be the textbook, less so a textbook, and more or less a guidebook. He wanted it to be the definitive one that he didn't have when he was in school.
Nice.
And
this is good.
He explains light sources, how he sets up his paint and everything, and a myriad different techniques. It's on Amazon right now for $25.
That's it?
Yeah. It was $40 originally, and they just reduced it to $25. I highly encourage you guys to pick this up. This makes a great coffee table book. You can impress all your friends with your culture by having this there. And it's got a really fantastic selection of Todd's paintings in there. Mm-hmm. He does not only just like regular fruits and stuff, still life, like the usual stuff, but what really attracted me to his work was he likes to paint ships. And I love me some nice old galleons and stuff like that. He paints model ships in the background of some of his other stuff. And he likes to paint drinks.
Yes.
He does whiskeys. Okay. He does bottles of alcohol. He does different mixed drinks. Yeah, super realistic. It's like it's ridiculous to the point. Like some of them you look at, like, is that a photo?
No, it's yeah.
Yeah. So, Todd, if you're watching this, I just ordered it. It's arriving Saturday.
Nicely done, sir. Excellent. So, I want to start this episode off right before I get too drunk, because I will get too drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And I want to give
Did you not have dinner?
I had dinner.
Okay,
I did.
All right, we're in better shape than normal, folks.
That's true. No, I'm at least on a prolonged timeline.
Which in our case is about an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half, yeah. And we've got a full bottle here, but we
Folks,
can't
that's as
actually
good as
tell
it's gonna
when we're done. But I want to give you guys the question now so you can study up and then send us in your answers. Don't answer on Periscope or Facebook. Not this time. I don't actually have something else cool to send you involving art like this. So the new rule for, sending in your answers during the live show doesn't count on this one. I don't have anything to supplement or complement this prize with. Sorry. And I'm not drawing anything anymore. That ship has sailed. For those of you who were members of contributing to the Patreon and actually got a Pete DeLuca original piece of art, kudos to you. Because I'm not doing that shit again.
Shit, I just thought of something I can do as a giveaway. I'll talk to you about it after.
Alrighty.
Well, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow, because after, you're going to be too inebriated.
Yeah, it's that I'm just going to go in one ear and out the other, especially after I hit the fresh air. So, I did actually go to art high school and art college, so I'm just kind of, pillaging my memory banks here to see what I remember. And being that I do enjoy my fair taste of alcohol now and then, I thought an appropriate question would be to mix the two, art and alcohol, just the way Todd has done. Now, I don't have a trivia question about Todd. He's probably really happy about that. But I do have a trivia question about one of my favorite artists and one of my favorite alcohols as well. Vincent van Gogh, who, if you really want to sound like a pretentious asshole, that's how you say his name. It's not Van Gogh. So less of a hard O at the end. So we all know that Vinny cut off his ear and painted his self-portrait, that very famous bandaged-up self-portrait. And he did this after a 3-day binge on a particular type of alcohol. What was Vinny drinking when he got the brilliant idea to cut off his ear and paint his self-portrait?
Coronas.
Yes, definitely Coronas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would.
Bonus points, if you know why he did it. It was not because he was drunk. It was not, that helped. But
Absolutely.
That was not the motivation for cutting off his ear.
Yeah, if not, people would have lost his a long time ago.
Bonus points if you answer the question, what was he drinking and why did he cut off his ear and paint his portrait? What was his motivation there, Mr. DeMille? Or whatever. What's my motivation? I'm ready for my close-up. Never mind, scratch that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. I'm just going to drink.
Kevin Nisa says he was drunk. School left that part out of the story. Like, what school did you go to? Because they didn't hold that back when I
He
learned
was
about him.
very drunk.
He was shitted.
You're never sober when you say, I'm going to cut off my ear and paint my fucking picture.
Yep.
That's not a sober idea.
Incidentally, and I shared this last week with the crew, they are finally coming out with a Vincent Van Gogh action figure, and his ear is removable.
That's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I need one. You need one. My sister needs one because she's.
Is it a Funko Pop?
No, it's not a pop. It's a similar company, but it's more of like an artist like caricature style.
I still need
rendition.
So it's like a regular old action figure kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, he's got like an oversized head, that type of thing. But
Speaking of action figures, Gino Ames. Pete, have you seen the 6-inch Snake Eyes figure from the new line?
I have, as a matter of fact. And, I really thought I wasn't going to like it, but it looks pretty dope. I cannot wait to see it in person. Unfortunately, we did not get to go to Toy Fair this weekend, so, we have to deal with pictures like everybody else. Toy Fair's parameters for press passes are absolutely ridiculous.
like worse than Comic-Con? Well, yeah, Toy Fair is pretty
like legit, you need a fucking New York City press pass to get in there. It's ridiculous.
Fair enough. Red Lantern says C2E2 is coming up again, getting his first book graded. What should he expect? I mean, C2E2 is in LA, isn't it?
C2E2 is Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay.
I'm assuming you're going CGC, and it depends on what book you're grading, so it'll depend on what the turnaround time is going to be based on the value of the book. Expect disappointment, for sure, because every time you think you know the grade, chances are you don't. Mm-hmm. I've had that happen. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yep. Oh, God, yeah. some of the books that I've had graded.
And be patient, because unless you're paying for like that 2-day turnaround, which you're gonna pay for, expect to wait a couple of months at least, maybe a few. Other things to come out of Toy Fair over the course of the weekend. There's going to be a God Doom Funko Pop.
That looks dope as fuck.
Yep. I forget what convention that's going to be an exclusive for. But at this point, I'm just going to wait a little while until the price dies down by about $10, $15 on eBay. Because now, as with everything, it's like, ooh, shiny red ball, and everybody needs it.
Yep.
So the prices are stupid high.
Yep.
For example, perfect fucking segue that I didn't even mean to do. Batman 89 dropped this week. This book was hyped for like 2 solid weeks in advance. I can't fucking believe that. And it is the first appearance, it was billed as the first appearance of the Joker's new gal pal, Punchline. There's also some other new villain running around in there who I can't remember what Catwoman said his name was. I'm so behind on the Batman books, but I decided to read this one just like to see what the hype, what's all the fuss about. First of all, let me stop you just in case I've managed to save you from paying the $30 to $45 that this book is going for on eBay right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Do not buy into this hype, please. It's a fucking $3 to $4 book, and people are just ravaging their fellow comic nerds on eBay and other, sales sites, Instagram. I haven't even checked the CGC boards. Chances are most of those guys are probably laughing at all of this right now.
Oh, totally.
But I don't see this book surviving the hype of more than a few weeks at best. Granted, I've been wrong before. I was wrong about the whole the Spider-Gwen thing. And look where that first appearance has gone to. Wow.
It's a weird market.
Couple hundo?
At the least.
Really?
The Greg Land variant is a few grand.
Well, it is Greg Land.
Fucking hurt. Yeah, but the guy just traces porn stars. It's fucking... anybody could do that. The fact of the matter is, it was a rare variant, and there's also I think it's a Francisco Mattina variant with Batman and Deathstroke. So Punchline's not even on the cover. And here's the big fucking punchline for all of you out there, just dropping this amount of money. She's not even in the book. Her fucking mouth is in the book. This is the equivalent. This is less than an Incredible Hulk 180. It's a cameo of Wolverine at best. At fucking best. Yeah.
He was in the shadows only.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a fucking Dark Side where he's on a television set. It's literally this piece of her.
It's the
talking
same,
to the Joker on the phone.
Well, some people just need
It's
that
the
piece.
same as the cameo and reveal of Venom across 298,
299. Absolutely. Yeah. So expect Batman 90 to be just as expensive or more. So I suggest you, right after the Pete's Basement show, go call up your local comic shop and reserve your copy of Batman 90 now. In fact, I would call up a few comic shops and reserve a copy. Some unscrupulous fucking cocksuckers were charging $25 right out of the gate for this book. And that's fucked up. You're a comic book retailer, and I get it that's, there's no rule that says you can't do it. I don't believe Diamond Distributors has, any particular rule about jacking up the price. I think it's up to you what what you want it to retail for. But that's a fucked up thing to do to your customers. You're a comic book store. They expect you to have a new issue at cover price. You do not get to dictate the price on that based on what you're seeing on eBay. If that's the case, lie to your fucking customers, tell them it's sold out, and just list the motherfucker on eBay if you want to make your money that way.
Yep.
I'd rather you fucking lie to my face than be a greedy motherfucker that I want to punch in the face when I get to the shop.
Kevin Deason says there's a misprint edition of 89 that sold for 7 beans.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is the misprint?
Don't know. Hasn't been mentioned yet. On the subject of Spider-Man, really quick, Red Lantern says that the book he's getting graded is the first appearance of Carnage. He doesn't want to flip it. He just wants it for his collection. And honestly, I think that's a pretty cool choice.
That's a very good choice. And it's a pricey book now. That's
Yeah, because of part 2.
okay. You're probably looking at about a $300 to $400 value, so it's going to be one step up from economy. Be patient. Don't rush. There's no reason to get that book the next day. Expect it to come back in 3 months. It should cost you right around $60 to get it graded. And always do USPS registered mail. It's the safest bet.
Yep.
Don't do FedEx. Don't do UPS.
Nope.
Registered mail. Always. Because someone needs to sign for it. They can't possibly leave it on your stoop. Pay the extra money and get it shipped registered mail.
Yep.
That's my best advice.
And now you know.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Yes. Which brings me back to the 6-inch Snake Eyes. Yo, it looks so fucking cool. It's actually like a 6-inch Joe figure. There's points of articulation
Did it make it an
and
old
everything.
school G.I. Joe Ken doll?
No, it actually looks just like a big ass G.I. Joe figure. It's fully articulated, hips, leg movement, everything,
Nice.
elbow joints and whatnot. I'm not sure about fingers. I don't think so. It looks like, as with the modern take on the figures, that the feet will move as well.
Yeah.
So it probably balances really well. I'm not sure who else is in the line. I think I saw a Duke figure.
What are these figures going for?
You know what? There's no suggested retail yet that I know of, but if I'm guesstimating, probably typical action figure collector price of like $25 at this point.
That's not bad.
Because these things aren't hitting the market for little kids to be in, whatever passes for a toy store these days.
Yeah.
These are for big dummies like us who want to get the new figures and put them up on a shelf or something. Mm-hmm. They know who they're fucking
Yeah, they know who their target audience is.
Absolutely.
Yep.
They know you.
Yeah.
Another very important thing to come out of, I believe this came out of Toy Fair as well, a company called Factory Entertainment is now, parentheses, read, finally, making 1-to-1 replicas of Masters of the Universe fucking weapons. Yay. I finally get an authentic power sword. It's only been 35 years that I'm waiting for this. And
I might have to get my own.
with a fucking plastic or resin sword, what is going to come next? Real swords.
Because somebody's going to get a hold of that mold.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And what I'm really hoping for is after the first generation of just really nifty like props and cosplay replicas and stuff, they start to experiment with it, and like maybe the second gen will have lights and sounds, because there's nothing more that I would want than to just say that by the power of Grayskull, hit a little button on the side of the sword, and then the thing goes, blat. And by the way, very nice shirt. 80stees.com?
80stees.com.
Yeah, mine as well. I picked this up during their holiday sale. I highly recommend you wait for an 80s Tees holiday sale or some sort of sale.
Yeah, I wanted to jump all over this one and the Voltron one I wore last week, because I was like, you know what, this might not last in stock. But with the prices I paid, wait for the holiday sale.
Once they started to get the actual licenses, their prices all but
skyrocketed.
doubled.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's a little
honestly,
harsh.
honestly, these are really good quality T-shirts. The print quality, especially for this one, is amazing.
Yeah, no, they're good quality shirts. They're just expensive, and it's hurts the wallet a lot.
Kevin Neeson said he DM'd us a photo of the misprint on Batman number 89.
All right,
for us to check out whenever. We could probably just throw that up there for the YouTube.
Speaking of He-Man and speaking of toys, I have to give a very, very heartfelt basement thank you and a toast to our boy Vegetable Tube. Man, you didn't have to do that shit. That is really super ridiculously nice of you. I don't even know how to repay that. The best I could think of is to just have my mother cook some shit for you and then freeze it and send it over in a fucking, like a dry ice box. I don't know what to do, because I got this box in the mail at the P.O. box the other day, and the instructions were simply, everything in there is for the basement, the purple guy is for Ramon. Okay. So the purple guy happened to be this really awesome Thanos figure from Figure Arts. That is really awesome, and if Ramon wants to leave that here, he's more than welcome, but I doubt he's going to.
That's pretty dope.
And what else was in there? But this was when I like started to really lose my mind. It's just so much shit, man. It's not shit, it's just so much shit. So fucking much. I saw this Prince Adam figure.
Oh, Jesus.
What is this?
Boy.
And already, like, the box, it's shiny. Something is shining in here.
Prism holographic.
Prism.
Which is totally old school 90s.
Right.
80s and 90s.
Just look at how shiny that is. That is really awesome.
You still don't even know. Okay.
So it's the laughing Prince Adam figure from that's a classic He-Man pose.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
The packaging is dope as fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to take them out of the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Super 7 really does these things so well. And that's only just the tip of the iceberg. What else do we have?
That's fantastic. And I love it's the old school pink power sword from the old action figure. Yeah.
We have Rebel He-Man from the Masters of the Universe live action movie.
Oh shit, nice.
And the current comic book?
And the current comic book, Masters of the Multiverse. So, one. We've got Skeletor.
Oh, he was armed to the T. Jesus.
Yeah. Skeletor
Nice.
in full god armor.
Oh shit, okay. Wow.
Totally ridiculous.
Okay.
We've got Dark Despot Skeletor. Pre-god armor, just straight up Frank Langella glory right here.
Oh man. That's dope as fuck.
Absolutely awesome. And in lieu of Beastman in the movie, we had Commander Karg. I think there was like kind of a Beastman-y character.
Yeah, he got very little screen
Very
time.
little attention. We've got Commander Karg as well. The full 4-figure set. Dude,
That is
thank
so
you.
fucking dope.
That I don't even have words for that. This was entirely too nice of you.
Jesus.
And I got nothing, man. I got nothing. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you. You know, it's funny.
Seriously.
I'll tell you right now before I even have this toast. Every time that I think, what the fuck am I wasting my goddamn weekends for editing this stuff and putting in so much time and I never get to do anything else. One of you motherfuckers goes and does something like this. So thank you, assholes. Thank you. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Salute, man. My hat, I'm not even wearing one, but if I were, my hat would be off. Thank you so much. I can't. I even got the fucking words.
Cheers.
As soon as I find a spot for these will be displayed quite prominently in the basement. I promise you that much. Utterly insane.
Kate and Absolute say you're welcome. Kate says, I'm sorry, hang on. Absolute says, I gotta send you guys a big box of treats again. Red Lantern says, I'll send you...
You're one of the first offenders!
Red Lantern says, I'll send you any C2E2 freebies I get.
I know, you've been.
Like, fucking hell.
Thank you so much. You know what you fucking could do? Somehow, freeze me a Chicago hot dog. God, I haven't had a Chicago hot dog in over 10 years.
They're fucking good.
They really are.
They really are. Like, damn.
Everybody want to talk about them Chicago pizzas, and listen, as much as it's not a New York pizza, it's still delicious.
It's fucking
Adam
amazing.
brings us Chicago pizza
Last time.
once a year. They're delicious. They're just not pizza because New Yorkers are in a rush. I can't be sitting down every time I need a slice of pizza. Sometimes I need to take one on the walk. Can't do that with Chicago pizza. You can't get that shit by the slice. Therein lies the difference.
Sorry.
But the Chicago hot dog is such an unsung hero.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's a raw onions and pickles and tomatoes. Oh, no, don't sleep on it. I looked at this thing and I'm like, that's a lot of shit on my hot dog.
Oh, raw onions give me allergies.
Yeah, the raw onions. That's what they do.
No, no.
Take a fucking pill beforehand.
No,
It's
no.
supposed to.
Listen,
it's supposed
man.
to kickstart your metabolism.
Come to the
That's a
Nexium
rough
world.
Kickstarter.
Come to the Nexium side of the tracks. It's fun. We have so much more food because we can handle it now.
Kate wants to know if you tried the pizza dumplings up at Columbus Circle.
I have not gotten there. Columbus Circle is a little bit
dumplings?
across town from me. Yeah, pizza dumplings.
Well, ain't them like the pizza the Totino's pizza rolls or like
That's what I'm imagining they are.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like probably like really good.
Listen, it's not like the pizza.
Listen, I'm not knocking.
Tostinos are
I'm not
good.
knocking.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking at all. However, like this sounds like it's some gourmet
You've not
shit.
lived until you've been stoned. Going,
Listen, I didn't have to be stoned when I did that. I was fucking 8 and dumb.
it helps if you're stoned. It hurts less. Yeah. And last but not least, there is a Kickstarter out right now for one of our favorite books. There's actually a Kickstarter out for two of our favorite books, and it bears mentioning. The first, obviously, is our boy Jay the Unstoppable, and Unstoppable
Yes.
Comics has New York versus the World, issue 2. It's a zombie apocalypse, and New York is the last bastion of humanity.
It's damn good.
It's so good.
It's
And
stupid
Jay has
good.
explained basically the storyline from 2 through 4, and it's awesome. The series has already hit its goal,
Good for him.
That's
so now
awesome.
we're going for stretch goals. So I encourage everybody, if you haven't checked it out yet, go and do it. New York versus the World, issue 2 on Kickstarter. There's some really awesome prizes, and they're cheap.
And he's giving too, so he's throwing in extra stuff. Last I heard,
He's always throwing in extra shit. I'm actually giving him, I'm feeding him ideas for future Kickstarters. Just make you can make contributors zombies, make them heroes in the book that get something. Mm-hmm. I want to be eaten by a zombie. That's my goal. I don't care what I got to pay for it, but I want to be eaten by a zombie. It really upsets me that when our boy Sebastian Jones had the Kickstarter going, that I could not afford to get my head on a pike by Jay Lee. I really wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
So I want to be a zombie in New York versus the World. I think it's only fair to have the basement crew, the whole crew, be zombies.
That's
And-
dope. Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, Snow White and the Zombie Apocalypse is now in a Kickstarter for issue 2.
nice.
I haven't even gotten a chance to check out this Kickstarter yet, but I can promise you that by this time next week, hell, by this time tomorrow, the basement will have kicked in on this. Plus, we're going to be interviewing the creator of Snow White Zombie Apocalypse, Brent Lengel, hopefully tomorrow, not live. So, as long as everything goes well, that's going to pop up right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the basement. We're here with Brent Lengel, the creator of Snow White Zombie Apocalypse. Brent, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah. Hey, happy to be here. I'll drink with you.
Tell us a little bit about how you first created Snow White Zombie Apocalypse.
That's a heck of a story. So I moved to New York City in 2009, and I came as a playwright. And the first play, not the first play I'd ever written, but the first one I ever had produced was called Snow White Zombie. And it actually started because I had just moved to the city. I was, wet behind the ears artist, and I saw an ad for something called the Fairy Tale Smackdown 24-hour play contest. It was done by the now defunct New York Theater Experiment. So I sat down and I was like, okay, I know I want to write something with zombies. And they had this fairy tale, and for a while I'd been going back and forth on, do I write zombie Shakespeare or do I write zombie fairy tales? And I'm like, well, I can't write iambic pentameter. It's too complicated. So I was like, you know what? Here's a chance to get this idea off. And lightning just struck within, and I had to write the script, the original 10-minute play, and then we had to produce it and perform it all within 24 hours. And it wound up being one of the the script that you guys read in the comic itself is pretty much identical to the original 10-minute script, just realized in a comic format. Mm-hmm. So you know, the play premiered and people loved it. People came up to me afterwards, and you know, you got to admit, I'd never had anything produced before, and they were like, "Oh my God, this play is amazing! It reads like something that somebody went to Yale wrote." And I'm like, "Well, you should tell Yale about that because they rejected me."
So now you've got the Kickstarter up for issue 2 of Snow White Zombie Apocalypse. What can we expect from the issue?
Oh man, this is going to be absolutely incredible. So, the concept with Snow White Zombie is that we are moving every 44 pages or so. We're going to change artist, and the reason we're doing that is because one, there's a lot of really great artists out there that I really want to showcase. But two, it's because like with fairy tales. You hear different fairy tales from different people in different incarnations, so they should have almost a mutable quality, kind of like how Sandman switched artists because dreams do the same thing. I mean, that's really what we're shooting for with the overall aesthetic of the series. Luana, in this case, is absolutely phenomenal. I was like just beside myself when I found her, and she's the perfect person to work on the second issue. In this issue, we're opening up the world a lot more. So the first issue was very heavily focused on the fight between Rapunzel and the Big Bad Wolf. That was a really big one, and then kind of the comedy with them discovering Snow White and building the characters. The second issue really opens up the world. So we're introducing several new antagonists and a new hero who starts off as an antagonist. The first one we have is Wolf Zombie Gretel. And the concept, one of the unique things that we do with zombies in this world is zombies kind of work on like a sire system, where if you are bitten by a zombie and you die and become a zombie, you take on aspects of that zombie in the afterworld. So if you're bitten by the zombie Big Bad Wolf, you're going to become wolf-like. And the longer you are a zombie, the more you turn into essentially an undead werewolf. And then she, of course, kind of runs afoul. I won't say exactly what happens there, but she runs afoul of one of our other heroes, the Woodsman. The Woodsman actually does Kyokushin karate. He will say os in this series. And he is a physical powerhouse, literally described as being built like a wrestler. But he prefers to attack from ambush. He fights with a woodcutter's axe and his own hands, and he is capable of going toe-to-toe with Rapunzel. And he is going to square off with Rapunzel in this issue, and that's going to be amazing. For those of you who didn't get the original series, like Rapunzel is a crazy badass, and she is a fighter very reminiscent of Bruce Lee, and in fact does the one-inch punch in the first issue.
I loved it. She's so awesome.
Yeah.
Zell. I love it.
And she'll get cooler and cooler as the series goes. Oh, I'm a ginormous nerd. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons, Tolkien. This thing is, I mean, really like SWZA is a mashup. So there's a lot of horror elements to it, but also like beyond anything, I'm a fantasy fan. So like if you like The Witcher, you're going to love SWZA as it continues to grow. You know, we're playing off a lot of these classic fairy tales, but ultimately, like, this is a horror, dark fantasy action series. It's also romance, both, you know, capital R romance is in the romantic movement, and it's also like a romantic story between the love triangle of Prince Charming, Snow White, and Rapunzel, which is just going to get cooler and cooler as we go.
Be sure to check out the rest of our interview with Brent on the Pete's Basement YouTube channel. All right. So, you managed to finish Lock and Key?
Yes.
You don't sound happy.
I wasn't happy on episode 3.
Really? That early? I at least, like, fell off around episode 5. We are not going to do a spoiler review just yet. I just want to touch base with Ramon and get a general idea of what he's thinking.
All right, you know how I finished before this October faction?
Uh-huh.
And what I told you about it?
Yeah.
Same thing. So because of October faction, I smelled it coming. You just saw it.
I believe I told you that it was going to be a CW show.
And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. See, I'm a little...
Better graphics than October faction.
Okay, I haven't barely got through one episode of October. Not worth it? Okay. That's a shame because I really liked that comic.
Yeah, wow.
Now, I actually reread Lock and Key.
I want to do that.
This past weekend. And it made me like the TV show more, if you can believe that. Because I saw parallels and I saw potential. So, before we have our spoiler review, I want you to reread the series. Mm. And then, when your memory is completely fresh, because I know you read mad fast anyway, sometime next week we will have our spoiler review of Locke and Key. And then, then we can talk about it in full. Because I was grossly underwhelmed with the TV show, oddly enough, until I reread the series. And then I actually found myself liking it more as I rewatched the series.
You rewatched it?
Yes, I did.
I'm not doing that.
I won't say that I sat down.
He's not editing.
I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing like I did the first time. But I had it on for background noise and I would catch key scenes and stuff. And I can definitely say that there were things that happened in the series, no spoilers right now, that I was like, all right, I think that's done better. Honestly.
Okay. You watched it.
Yep.
Read the series, and then you rewatched the series.
Yeah.
How many books you read this week?
So it's going to be like that?
Yes, like that.
See, that's fucked up. That's cold.
I knew.
I thought I did something good.
I knew that's where this was going, and I'm so glad
He walked me right into it. I didn't even see it.
He led you like a lamb to the slaughter.
Completely, yeah. Didn't see it coming. Nah.
Your hardest feelings.
Well, I guess let's talk about this week's worth of comics and the few books that I've read. At least I read Batman.
Which wasn't on the list!
Because it technically wasn't a number one, but there was enough hype about it that I felt maybe we should read it. Granted, I didn't tell Ramon. I was like, I texted Ramon like, "Yo, did you read Batman?" And he was like on his way over here like, "No, motherfucker, was it on the list? No."
13 years.
Aftershocks God Killers. So, I trust Aftershock usually to tell me a good story. This one, I found myself like, with.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a clearly a dude of Arabian descent, possibly maybe formerly Muslim, but now he makes a point to say I'm not religious anymore.
Mom is, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't tell my mother. And they bring him in what seems like a futuristic scenario where
Really?
well they've banned Muslims. I don't know. Did that happen in a country or something? I don't really watch the news because it just pisses me off. So
I think it's more modern.
was it? I thought it was like one of those 5 minutes into the future things.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that part was a little lost on me. But so you've got a Black Ops group basically going into enemy territory, just kind of just doing their thing. They're trying to liberate the area of insurgents and terrorists and stuff. Yeah. Now they make a point.
I'm looking for someone specific or someone's specific.
They make a point to introduce this Ring of Solomon or something, or the ring with the Seal of Solomon or something.
Yes. David on it,
That allows people to control jinns.
Yes.
And then they don't go back to that at all.
Yeah.
They'll touch on it.
I'm sure they will.
I took issue 1 as
it's like the most obvious Easter egg of all.
A foundation type of thing.
Too much, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because the ending to me came out of nowhere. What the fuck happened? Spoiler alert. Did they cut off the guy's head and then he turned into that thing? Was that a separate thing? What?
But yes, essentially, yeah.
That's what I didn't understand. It was like
the one guy fired as the sword was coming down to chop the head off, and he was just a hair too late.
Yeah, but then
and the dismembered head.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
because I didn't register that from the panels.
Well,
and the artwork was good.
The artwork was fantastic, but here's the problem. The problem is that the woman being decapitated is wearing a hoodie, so you can't see her face.
Right. Yeah.
So you can't tell who the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm. But it looks until
the dismembered head just shows up.
But the dismembered head looks like a. I thought it was a dude with a mustache and beard.
No, it wasn't. It was a woman. Because you have a woman's face. Yeah, and like you have a
The
demon
thing
face
was
looking.
a thing was a woman. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I
That
could swear there was a severed head of a dude on the floor in the last panel of the, second to last page.
The confusion behind it is the way the paneling kind of takes you through it, because you see the guy with the scimitar. You see his face. In between him, the sword coming down, you see his
Maybe
face,
that's
and then you
where
see the
it
head
confused me.
being lopped off. Yeah.
Like,
And then you see a woman's face.
I didn't know what the
looking
fuck I was looking at.
Who's looking like, what's her name in The Exorcist? With just immediately growing back her.
I was thinking
internal
more
organs.
I didn't see
the
it as
thing.
her growing. I think that's just the way she looks as a monster. Because I've seen another comic book, I don't know where or what, with the same appearance of a monster like that. Just a body with like just random organs just there.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah. Was it the thing?
I don't know. I think it's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
But recently in comics?
You know what? It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm alright with this. I'm alright with.
I'm okay with it right now.
I'm okay with the main story plot line.
Yes.
What I didn't like was the establishment of how he joins the team and how everybody's a dick to each other. And I'm not saying everything needs to be kumbaya, but it was like a little over the top.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
'Cause I think
now, I know like it's military, so you're going to like mercilessly bust balls, but like I don't know. I just didn't get.
You
that
know
vibe,
what?
where they were
I'm
just-
with you on that because it
feel like they
seemed
were
like they
addicted
were
because of
busting
someone's life.
chops out of maliciousness rather than camaraderie.
Well, yeah.
Like we bust each other's chops at like because we could fucking do that.
Yeah.
They're all brought together because they have different religious views.
Right. Is that the case?
People don't tend to get along when they have different religious views. And on top of that, because what happened in his last mission, he's considered a coward.
Right.
So he's a
he like froze in the face of
non-practicing
combat.
Muslim who people think is a coward.
And like the leader, the general, and not the
Is
commanding
extra
officer
Catholic.
is super Catholic.
There's a bitchy Jew in the team, and I forgot what the other person is. There's a few of them. There's a voodoo guy.
Right.
That's gonna be fun.
I mean, and the other thing I guess for me is because
I need to see a Joe Boo at some point, like just in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Just give me that
see,
homage.
that would be fucking cool. That would be kind of cool. But
Jesus, I know him. He's no help in a firefight. You telling me Jesus Christ can't shoot an AK-47? To paraphrase Major League.
It's a great movie.
So good.
yeah,
Even
seriously.
part
Even part 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, even though it was rated PG-13,
Still good.
yeah.
Still good. I'm with this book because it's Aftershock, and I'm trusting them to tell me a good story. I was underwhelmed by the first one. I kind of felt like the last page came out of nowhere. Maybe, like you said, I had trouble following the panels.
Yeah,
And-
I had to reread that a couple of times.
Yeah, I look back on it and I'm like, I don't really understand what I just read.
I am waiting for other religious mythologies getting thrown in there. Like the whole Ring of Solomon with the jinns.
Yeah.
That's not Old Testament. That's like Hebrew mythology.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is a totally different monster. So I
Yeah.
wanted teach me this stuff. Go ahead, comics. Make me learn something. Jinns. Obviously, we also know that's huge in Arabian culture.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Middle Eastern culture, if you will. So I'll take it.
I'm more familiar with jinns because they play a pretty significant role on Supernatural on more than a few episodes.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I know-
15 seasons worth, man. You got every kind of monster that walked the earth.
and jinns show up a lot in Magic the Gathering.
One of them things I never played, but I would have liked to.
Dude, you would like the amount of money that you spent.
No, I would.
Comics?
That's exactly why I never played it. I knew better.
Be glad you didn't.
I fucking knew better.
I did.
From Dark Horse, we've got bang! All caps! Exclamation point.
Yep.
So, are you familiar with James Bond? Pretty much everybody is. So imagine if James Bond actually met Ian Fleming. Ian Fleming's the guy who originally wrote James Bond.
Yes.
Ian Fleming also, if you believe the hype, lived James Bond. He was a super spy who decided to leave the life and write a book, or several. And then they made movies out of it. I don't know if that's true, but it'd be pretty cool if it was.
Honestly, yeah.
Nevertheless, this book, that's pretty much the only way I can describe this, is James Bond meets Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have these memories of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s when it's the modern age and you're only 30 years old.
And black. And these other ones are like white. It was an Asian female.
A couple of women. Yeah. Two women. Like, yeah. It's like if James. Well, I forget the code name of this character.
Something.
Thomas Cord.
Yes.
So he's not one person.
Wasn't quite
but
a memorable name.
He's a code name.
Which, I mean, I took like, okay, James Bond. Like, yeah. Like,
well, it's like the Jason Bourne
007.
thing. It's like the Jason Bourne thing, because you had, the Bourne Legacy, where it wasn't Jason Bourne, but it was another Bourne.
Well, they were different people in the same program, but in the new James Bond movie coming out, there's a different 007 because James has retired.
Right.
The 007 moniker is still going.
Right.
So that's kind of how I took this until, spoiler alert, the author turns around and says, like, oh, yeah, I'm a trans-dimensional fucking being, and I'm just writing your story. And, like, okay, that's a throwaway line that maybe nobody else wants to pick up on, but...
That's when I got off the train.
That's how I'm like, wait, what the hell just fucking happened?
Yeah, that was a little weird. I mean, I kind of liked the idea that the writer could possibly be a clairvoyant, but not necessarily a...
Yeah, or are you like a fucking Mr. Mixelplick kind of guy?
Right.
What is happening here?
Yeah. Like he's the puppet master.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I will admit, in a term that Ramon coined, for me mostly, that by this point I was angry reading. Yeah, only 2 in, I was angry reading.
Shit.
Because I didn't understand what was happening in God Killers. I wanted more out of that. Then I picked up this one, and it was all over the place. But I still want to know what he meant by that line. So I'm at least going to get issues 2 and 3.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm happy with this yet, but I want to see what's going on.
Like, I just see this... I see this becoming a situation where... Situational. Where every single iteration of this character, is from different dimensions, and they all share the same memory. Like, that, it would just be like that level of fucking weird to happen.
That's an interesting possibility. Okay.
But... I don't know.
That
was just what I got out of it.
I guess we'll just kind of wait and see, but that's pretty interesting.
I kind of really like the artwork in this, though, because it was bright, colorful, somewhat cartoony, a little cartoony for...
James Bond is, with the exception of the new shit with, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Thank you, Daniel Craig. James Bond was always pretty campy.
Yeah.
All right, Hellboy and the BPRD, the return of Effie Kolb.
Good stuff.
Who's Effie Kolb?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Do we recognize her?
No.
Not really, no.
Okay. What's going on, I feel, because I don't remember everything having to do with BPRD and or Hellboy, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
They're just going back and filling in stories of what happened here and there. That's why the years are always going further back or jumping around a lot. So this happened after a previous adventure, and see what happened in that town. It's only a 2-issue thing.
That's what they usually are. At the most, they're 5, but they're usually like 2 or 3.
He hasn't done actually 5 in
a long time, yeah.
Ever since he went to hell or came back or died or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good for a dead guy.
And actually, I think he's still in hell in the modern story, because, like you said, these are backtracked stories. These are 1950-something.
These are like follow-ups, basically.
Yeah.
This is like through the years. But of course, it's still good. Which is kind of
cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Especially
Mignola.
He's making sure whoever works on his stuff, he's involved, and this one is just him.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah, sign me up. Yeah, that was kind of cool. What was interesting was in this particular issue, the girl that is helping him, and the school that was mentioned.
Yes.
Waverly Place?
I have no idea about this, and I'm like...
The Wizards of Waverly Place?
I believe so.
Stop.
That's a fucking Nickelodeon thing.
No.
Or Disney Channel or something?
It's something similar.
The address is on Waverly Place.
Right.
You know.
That's got to be an homage to that old fucking kids show. It's got to be.
I don't see Mignola doing that.
But
unless Waverly Place
the
means
thing,
something
the
else
thing
in
is,
the...
though, is that the abilities this girl has lend themselves right to that. It really does.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're so wrong.
I mean, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows?
I mean, all mystical stuff usually happens downtown somewhere. Doctor Strange,
Bleecker
Santos
Street,
Saturn,
yeah.
Bleecker.
Well, I mean, the Village is a really strange place.
Oh my god, it so is. Even though St. Mark's kind of trying to
Seriously.
fight gentrification itself.
Where the hell is it?
Yeah, that's a whole other basement show altogether. I'm
Yeah.
not even getting into that nonsense.
Now we know what people won't get into.
You know what? Like, because St. Mark's is
something school for
gentrification,
girls.
but the fact that they're trying to
Waverly
fight
Place.
gentrification is hilarious to me. Because St. Mark's was always a melting pot of every single kind of walk of life.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
that's just fucking, that's
Hilarious?
almost hypocritically hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page.
No, it's like hipsters fighting gentrification.
Hipsters fighting hipsters.
Hipsters fighting about higher rent. Like,
Hipsters
What?
fighting hipsters to the death. At the very least, this needs to be a comic book, if not reality. There needs to be some sort of rich, like New York mogul who kidnaps hipsters and makes them fight in some sort of death tournament. We should do that. We should kidnap hipsters and make them fight each other.
we're not rich to get away with that.
Probably not.
Dude, they
This
did
seems
that,
like it would end in
They did that
disaster.
already, Pete. It's called bum fights.
Hipsters do look like bums, though.
Hipsters,
Some
and they
of them
smell
do.
like that too.
Some of them do.
Have you used the whistle now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Soon though. Soon. When I get my GoPro, then I'll do it.
You've been getting this GoPro for a couple of years now.
I know. It's gonna happen just in time for the next Comic Con that we go to. That's when that'll break out. Maybe we can use it at Comic Con. Maybe we can use it at Comic Con to clear a table so we can get to an autograph faster.
And Pete Spaceman gets banned from Comic
I was just gonna say that on this episode, Pete gets arrested at Comic Con.
Disturbing the peace. All right. So what's Hunter's eye for eye, tooth for tooth?
It's like 6-issue teaser warm up.
6-page teaser.
6-page, yeah, sorry. Of the new series coming from Amazon Prime with Al Pacino.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
So it's a teaser for a TV show.
yeah.
Okay.
Or they're Nazi hunters.
Oh.
Nice.
Al Pacino's a Nazi hunter, or is he a Nazi?
No, he's a Nazi hunter.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know how I feel about Dark Horse doing like TV books.
It is Star Wars. They did pretty damn well until Marvel came out and said,
It's like, hey, none of this counts.
yeah. So,
Eat a dick.
yeah, I'm alright.
Was it good though? Like, did it make you want to watch the TV series?
I was already leaning towards watching it, even though I'm quite busy between Narcos and tomorrow, Star Wars.
Oh, Clone Wars drops tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, how many episodes is this going to be? Is the full season dropping?
They don't. I'll be pissed. But
This is hitting.
No,
This is hitting Disney Plus.
release it episodically.
what?
This is hitting Disney
Wait,
Plus.
are they doing?
Yes.
Oh wait, no, they're re-releasing the old stuff on.
Oh, it's
No,
already
that's on.
Okay.
That's
The
all
new
on
season.
there.
So this is a new season. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll probably release it episodically, like the Mandalorian.
But I mean,
because honestly, that worked really, really well. Number one, number two, I'm really glad that I'm not one of the thousands and probably millions of people who didn't cancel their subscription after they finished watching the Mandalorian.
No,
I didn't. I just found other shit to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I needed I want something done with Star Wars. I want to finally watch Black Cauldron.
Nice.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Let me know when you
Nice.
watch it, because then I'll watch it and we can do a review of it here on the Basement
Yes,
Show.
I'm totally for it.
Oh, kumbaya.
Totally.
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 It is
Totally.
the one Disney cartoon with no singing. None. Not a drop. Not a
Well,
sour note to be heard.
Emperor's New Groove doesn't have any singing in it.
Really?
Really. There's a lot of like cool music in it, but they never did any show-stopping numbers or anything like that.
Really?
Really.
Interesting.
Mess with yes. Somebody's gonna watch it.
I've been
Emperor's New
telling
Groove
you.
tonight.
Listen,
I'm
I've been
watching
telling
Emperor's
you
New
for
Groove tonight.
years. I've been telling you for years you need to watch this movie because it does.
I've
not,
seen it. I love it.
Yeah.
don't remember there not being
the only one who's actually singing in the entire movie is Kronk when he's humming his own theme music when he's trying to escape with Cusco's body, which was fucking hilarious.
That's pretty funny. I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it was the first Disney movie, and the only for 30 years to not have a fucking sing.
I will go
along.
with you on that. Yes.
All right. What is Deceased Unkillables?
Did you read the first DC series?
I read a bit of it. I didn't finish it. I kind of fell off.
All right, it's basically.
It started out actually really good. This was the one with the anti-life equation.
It is good. Period. You're not allowed to speak ill of this.
This is really good. I mean, like, one event in fucking 30 has got to be good.
This was good. It's the anti-life equation, but it turns people into crazy zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Rage
28
Virus
days later kind of
Except
shit.
it's traveling through
Smartphone and shit.
smartphones, any TVs and stuff. So you're screwed. The heroes had issues dealing with it. It ended in such an epic, crazy battle and stuff like that. Like people died. Like, it was damn.
Is it, like, so epic that people died it has to be Elseworlds, or is it main continuity?
No, it's Elseworld. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally
big people
Elseworlds.
died. Big
Uh-huh.
people.
Like pretty much you don't see anybody from the JLAs alive, really.
Yeah,
You know.
Wow. Okay.
Like you've
and
got
the covers are so gorgeous.
Covers
the
are beautiful.
artwork.
Oh my god!
The artwork in this
design
book
so
is
nice.
phenomenal. Okay, it's fantastic. Like between that and like Wolverine, which we'll get to later.
Well, it's Adam Kubert, that's why.
So this one is another volume, but Unkillables, right?
Yeah.
Deathstroke has a healing factor.
Right.
Solomon Grundy,
It's basically already dead.
Cheetah, Vandal Savage. There's
Immortal.
a couple others.
Okay, so these are people who
They
can
team
fight
up,
it off.
Yes. And also a couple of people from the Bat family are still alive, and that was very interesting and also horribly messed up. What Jason Todd did with
Yes. Yeah.
wanna
Do
know?
we want to
Spoiler,
spoil it?
yeah, throw the cheese
Okay.
down for this one.
So Jason Todd is one of the few people left, and he basically takes over the Batmobile because he can. You know, he's pretty much one of the only ones left, and he decides to find out who's still left standing. And was he go to Arkham or something like
Yeah.
that? And he stumbles across the dead body of the Joker, and he's like, "Well, that's messed up. I should have been the one to kill him."
he was really pissed off.
He was
about
really
that.
pissed.
Yeah.
So pissed that he decides to strap his body to the front of the Batmobile.
Zip ties, and that's it.
Zip ties and the whole thing. And he also rescues Jim Gordon, who's somehow still alive. He's now like pretty much the only Gotham City cop left. And is it Batgirl? Oh, there's Cassandra Cain.
Sandra Cain.
So they're the only three left. Everybody else is dead, including, unfortunately, Barbara Gordon. Mm-hmm. Which that was kind of like, oh, that one that one hurt a little bit. Cause,
That's what led them to the Joker. Like,
yeah,
Commissioner wanted to see the body, make sure it was
really.
Even though Batman's monitoring all their hearts,
Right.
and including Commissioner Gordon's, he's like, Batman's monitoring. He
Wait,
loves you.
Batman's
That's what
still
he's
alive?
doing. No.
No.
Oh.
And
Batman,
I didn't think so.
Robin,
I thought
Alfred.
Batman was one of the first guys to go, if I wasn't
and
mistaken.
Jason Todd's like, no, I'm Jason Todd. You know who Batman was, right? I mean, come on, you're a detective. You knew all along, right?
It's like, yeah, Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This is good. The first series was damn good. I recommend it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a hard recommendation from
Yes.
you.
The
Like,
covers alone are just gorgeous too.
The fact that you have this split story and they're vastly different from each other, but it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to tie in, but also they're both like really intriguing stories.
I think Francisco Martina did variants for this too, as a matter of fact.
No, it was Lee and Yuck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if I butchered your name, dude, but you know, America.
In Yuck Lee, that dude.
Yeah.
This motherfucker basically like, hey, Arthur Soyderman and just DX'd his ass.
Yes, he did.
Fuck yeah.
Saying, no, you're so too decadent.
All right, cool. So, hey, I read one. The Plunge, Joe Hill.
This was good.
Yes.
This was damn good.
Yes.
And I thought it was going in one direction, and I'm like, okay, we got the cheesy sea monsters because you saw those gigantic
Fucking giant squids.
I'm like, oh, okay. And like,
No. Where are we going? What's happening here?
I was happy.
I still don't know.
Book a week.
I still don't know what's fucking going on.
neither.
But
Except for the-
along with not
Yeah.
fucking knowing what was going on with God Killers, This one, I don't know what's going on, but I cannot wait for issue 2.
Yeah.
Yes, this gave you more
Yes.
than God
Yes.
said. You're right.
First
Yes.
of all, were you not Googling that fucking place? Like, is this real? And it is.
I didn't. No.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have time to because I had to get here. So I was reading after dinner and after work.
Maybe that's why you didn't read more books.
Ganga Godzilla Atoll. However the fuck you say that shit.
It's near
You just
Kamchatka.
offended the
Yeah, sure. It's right near. What did you say?
Kamchatka.
Yeah.
Or Kamchata. I'm sorry. That's
Rum chata? I love that stuff.
Horchata.
Yes. Horseradish? Love it. I don't know what he's saying.
Oh God.
I don't know what's happening here. There's like just I don't know.
Okay,
There's
first off, there's a guy hawking dildos from the galley.
Oh, hilarious.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Fucking brilliant. Okay, 'cause
You're a
he decides-
salvager, and you came across an entire boat of dildos.
Big
a
black
container,
dildos.
a container of dildos.
Yes.
Yeah. And then goes over the cost to retail price ratio, and now you know why the industry is booming. Anyway,
The dildo industry is booming.
It was written so well.
It was.
The humor is like, oh, Joel. Because some of these other ones he's done is kind of like, eh.
Well,
This
some
is
of them he's
fucking
just
good.
overseeing.
Yeah.
This one, like, you know when he writes something versus when he's just, kind of executive producing some shit.
Yeah, you're right.
But, like, Basket Full of Heads was all him. You know, they you see the difference. But the entirety of Hilltop Productions,
I forgot what it's called.
yeah, Hilltop, whichever one it is, they're all good though.
Mm-hmm. They're all good.
I have not found one that I did not enjoy yet.
I agree.
This one though has left me with so many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait for the next part. You've got a scientist who is trying to figure out why this sea vessel went down some 30 plus years ago. All of a sudden, after a massive tsunami, it rolls over on its side and slightly out of the water, so now the solar panels can get some energy and starts sending out a distress signal. It's been 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And now the company who originally chartered the vessel has hired this salvage crew to go and find it in the midst of what is basically Russian-occupied territory.
Yes.
So there's always the danger of getting a fucking torpedo from
a sub.
from a submarine.
Yeah. And then on top
But
of that,
that's the least of their worries.
Yeah.
But what are their worries? What is up with that last page? No spoilers here, but what the fuck is going on?
One word. Aliens.
You think so?
Not the word I was going to go with.
Yeah. I'm thinking aliens. Because for that to be the one talking and not...
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking sea zombies.
I think it's something from the deep, too. Yeah. I don't want to say
The
sea
deep
zombies.
ones.
Well,
some shit.
I mean, if you want to get into it, technically, there are theories that a lot of our undersea creatures that exist on this planet were put here, and we're
That's
not
for a different episode.
indigenous to this planet.
Episode. That's Pete's episode.
Excuse me, I didn't do that. I just...
Yeah.
We both named alike. Same birthday, too. Come on.
No, okay, so I will say this. There are tons and tons of conspiracy theories out there. This is one I can kind of get behind.
The children of Cthulhu are considered star spawn. So... Sure.
What's next?
I love crafting.
Alright, I didn't read this one. Images on the Stump.
This was
You
my
like
pick
this.
for Book of the Week.
What is this?
Okay, what if Congress
I don't like it already.
No.
No.
This screams you.
Really?
Oh my god.
No, you're going to like this. What if Congress set laws that said that you could only get laws either on the floor to be passed or in and of itself passed by combating in the ring? Yeah. Yeah. So we've got a
Not
knockdown.
like a wrestling ring.
No, we're talking.
This is fisticuffs.
We're talking
Straight
We're
up.
talking MMA/blood sport type shit. Okay, where you have two senators squaring off against each other in the ring. People placing bets. It's televised on across the internet on national TV, whatever the fuck.
So
And
are
whoever wins,
congressmen still like lowly old white dudes, or are they
Fuck
more
no.
like John
Oh,
Cena kind
they're
of guy?
John Cena and
Yeah.
then some. Okay, so you've had these two senators squaring
I
off
think it should
against each
still be
other.
lowly old white dudes. Because there's nobody I'd like to see kill each other more than those cocksuckers.
I mean, listen. At this point, if you put Bernie Sanders in the ring, it's like going up against the Crypt Keeper.
But now there's like a weird hitman situation.
So yeah,
See, the problem is with having all of these strong guys in the ring, like, wrestling style, like John Cena style, that means the old rich white dudes who make the laws can still they're still behind the whole shit. No, we have to stop them from doing it. That's why they have to fight.
Well, no, the guy who's actually trying to get this bill passed is just as much of a badass. He's still pulling strings behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
They're
He's
all
still
politicians. Not just
they're still politicians. They're politicians with a degree in law and a couple of black belts.
The only guy that I'm allowing for this to ever happen is Mike Hagar.
That would be
Fucking,
so
I will vote for the
Final
mayor
fight,
of Metro
yeah.
City any
Any-
day.
yeah,
Any
I'm with you on
fucking
that.
day.
I'm with you on that.
No, yeah, I agree.
But this is pretty cool because the guy who actually wins this initial fight that you see that establishes the whole concept was supposed to be paid to throw it, and he hasn't won hasn't won about in like 5 years, and he comes back and demolishes this guy, which is dope. And of course that gets the attention of an officer from the FBI who's trying to investigate the guy, the dude that Ramon previously mentioned, who's trying to get this law passed.
Why this wasn't my book of the week? The art.
Okay.
Great story.
I can't argue this one.
Freaking like creative.
It doesn't win artwork wise, but
The art kind of like.
Once again, always we find ourselves back at this question.
That's why I give it to Plunge.
Can good art save a bad story, and can a good story save bad art?
It
And I
didn't-
think it's always
in this
more
particular
toward the
case-
latter.
It didn't sink
Yeah.
it
Right.
no.
because it wasn't that bad.
But
No, it
I
wasn't.
will always find
wasn't.
myself gravitating toward a better story
Yeah.
if the
Yeah.
artwork is kind of eh. Alright, what's next? Mad Cave Studios' Savage Bastards. So, this is an interesting story. You have this dude, this Old West outlaw evil bastard, who I did not get a chance to look up if he was real or not.
Of course.
But they are throwing around Black Bart's name, and he's real.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this
Especially in the
McCulloch
Christmas
guy
story.
is real or not. But he's ruling this area of the Wild West.
Red Sand
and
something, right?
yeah, and he's giving the United States kind of like the fledgling United States a run for its money. Like, you can't have our land kind of thing. And he also apparently has a lot of children. He's got a whole harem where he just creates progeny.
He's immortal though.
Yeah,
That was a little twist that surprised
see
me.
now that was speaking. There's been a lot of throwaway lines
Yeah.
in this week's worth of books. They were like, oh yeah, he was born in the Highlands of Scotland in fucking 14 something, and he's
And
still
kicked
alive,
out,
kind of
yeah.
thing. But like
That sounds like
they
some Highlander shit.
Yeah, they literally he wasn't born in Scotland. I'm literally like
Oh, okay.
kind of paraphrasing Highlander, but they throw it away.
No, he was.
Yeah.
They were like, he was born. It was it Scotland? Okay, like
Fair enough.
he was born there, and then something happens, and suddenly he's immortal, and then he comes to America after being kicked out of Scotland for basically
Being a
witchcraft
dick.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why are you back from the dead? Like, so, but it's literally just one line that you're like, wait, is he immortal, or did they just fucking think he is? Or
Right.
what's actually happening? But the way this guy has kind of established himself as almost a king of sorts, yeah, maybe he is somehow immortal, and he's just kind of, at this point, collecting his progeny, his literally savage bastards that he lets run rampant in the Old West, and then collects them as part of his army, so kind of thing. That's where we are right now. And he's after this one particular dude who this dude's brother, who's a black guy, or at least half black, is trying to save because he knows what's up.
Yeah.
And this other kid who just grew up as a barber,
he's
and is a total dipshit.
Yes.
He's like, nah, how can you be my brother? You're black. He's like, well, listen, we have the same father. Our father is a crazy immortal. Our mothers were all part of this harem, and yes, they were raped and ravaged, and here we are. And he's like, nah, but that's an impossible story. We can't possibly be brothers. He's like, well, we are. And you see those guys out there that just arrived? They're here to kind of pretty much kidnap you. And if you've got to let me help you, or, you're going to lose the fight with these guys. Wild. Is, no pun intended, Wild West story.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Art again, just like you said before, art suffers a little, but the story is cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick around for a little bit. I want to see what happens because, especially at the end, like, is this dude going to be on his own now? I hope not, because I like the black dude. I hope he seems smart enough that he would prepare for this just such an occurrence to happen, No spoilers here. Go read the story. It just came out, Mad Cave Studios, and if your LCS is not getting any Mad Cave Studios books, I highly encourage you to go up to the manager and demand that they carry Mad Cave Studios books. You will not be sorry. They've got Battle Cats, they've got Midnight Task Force, they have Knights of the Golden Sun, which I really can't say enough of good things about. So much cool stuff. Over the Ropes, which we only just reviewed a little while ago. RV9, yes. Yeah. I love that book. That's like straight up video game company.
There was a circus one too.
Show's End.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's almost like a horror book. That's like pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
I think that just ended, or if not, like the first arc is on the verge of closing.
I don't know. You know how I am. I get ones and then I just leave them.
Yeah, I know. We gotta basically what we do is we get the number ones and then we'll marathon through right at the end, and hope we very rarely do ended books, but eventually some of them will hit us so hard that like, oh wow, we need to review this one.
Yeah.
But if you liked it, we always encourage you to let us know. questions@petesbasement.com. By all means, drop us a line what you're reading. We want to hear from you, and we will read your comments right here. That's pretty much the whole point. We want to talk about comics with you. We don't just want to talk about comics and make you listen. We want to hear from you as well. 2020 Machine Man.
No.
Really?
It's continuing the whole Arnold Stark
This
thing.
is that's what I thought.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, that's what I wow. I
honestly,
appreciate
the
that. Like, you didn't even
why.
give me a chance to rant on it.
No, I flipped through this book and I was like, oh my god.
And it's Christos Gage.
Why is this event happening?
Well, I feel bad for Christos Gage.
But it's also Tom DeFalco, who, he's more old school than anything else.
Which shocks me even more.
This is basically the culminant, like, this picks up at the end of, what was it, Iron Man 2020?
Number 2, yes.
Yeah.
Or the official AI uprising.
And what was that other shit that we read with the, there was a whole bunch, like, it just showed all of the different aspects of the Marvel Universe, remember?
Marvel Voices?
No, not Voices. It was, that Marvel Voices was this week.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, remember when we realized that Hulkling was going to be leading a, Empire.
Well, why?
But there was, like, the shit before that. It was, like, preceding Empire, where it introduced you to, here's the problem, and here's what everyone else in the Marvel Universe is doing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that.
Me too. It wasn't that memorable.
Yeah.
Don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Fucking events.
Yeah, it's just another event.
Yep.
And here, we said I actually was just last week, that pretty much the comics now are just a proving grounds for what could potentially be a movie
or a TV
later
show.
On. Or a TV show.
Yeah.
And hopefully none of it ever comes to fruition, because there are literally years and years of continuity that you can play off of.
Yeah.
That deserve TV shows and movies. Not this new shit. Before we continue, I have to bring this up.
No.
Now, the Basement Show has been kind of lax with DC and stuff because there's just been a lot of crazy ass continuity stuff going on, from Superman revealing his identity to Alfred being killed by Bane, etc. So one of our good friends and fans, Adrian Berg, hit me up just this past week and was like, "Yo, Pete, do you know about this DC 5G shit? Have you heard of this?"
No.
Nope.
Be thankful, because this is happening. This is going to happen pretty much by the end of this year. DC 5G. Now, I will resist the urge.
Thank
even
you.
though it's right
I've heard
here.
some of that crap from you before already.
5G is going to kill us all.
Stop.
Just please
See, you said you want to resist.
understand that 5G is going to kill us all, but DC 5G is going to kill our hearts. 5G is the 5th generation. What DC is doing, what the plan is, because
Another universal
they're
reset?
way worse than that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because they're in such danger. As our boy Mikey, the Shadow / Nuke Sutton has told us, AT&T is the owner of Warner Brothers, is the owner of DC Comics,
Yes.
the owner of DC Entertainment.
And HBO.
They are not happy with the turnaround profit from DC.
Especially after what happened with Birds of Prey.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that completely fizzled out
And
like a
they
bad
think
fart.
that this is the way to go, but it's not. So what 5G is the 5th generation. This is the next step in the evolution of the characters of DC Comics, wherein, in the main continuity, that's the big problem here. They are going... All of the characters that we know and love are about to be aged out. Not killed off, not fucking replaced in some universal explosion. Batman is going to be too old. Superman is going to be too old. Jonathan Kent is going to take over for Superman. Luke Fox is going to take over as the Batman in lieu of fucking Tim Drake or Richard Grayson or even fucking Jason Todd. No, we're going to let Batwing fucking take over.
You notice he skipped one.
Yeah, Damien.
Who?
See?
Thanks, Grant Morrison.
All of these fucking characters are being aged out in lieu of the next generation of heroes, instead of just making cool ass new characters. You think that the method of saving this comic book fucking publisher is by phasing out the characters that we all know and love, that we've all grown attachments to in our heart of hearts from the time we were born, that we were seeing these characters in movies and cartoons, etc. We're gonna phase all of these motherfuckers out and give you new motherfuckers that you don't give a flying fuck about. This is the way to save DC Comics.
There's only one possible
It's
explanation.
fucking stupid!
No.
Just make good stories. If the people still writing and creating the DC animated universe can still make fucking animated movies that are dope as fuck, for the most part, Batman fucking Batgirl notwithstanding, still make animated movies that are awesome, clearly these stories can still be written awesome. You can still take these characters that are 80 plus years old, almost 90 years old, and make cool ass stories. You don't need to phase them out in lieu of these new versions of characters. We tried that already. It didn't fucking work. Marvel tried it. DC tried it. You all fucking tried it already. But no, let's double down and let's get rid of our old characters completely. Instead of making just new characters and making them awesome. No, we're going to get rid of everybody and force you to read this shit, and that's definitely going to save the fucking publishing. No, it's fucking not.
The only way this would be fine if it was like the Ultimate line.
Exactly.
That's it.
Why can't you just make a different fucking line like Marvel did?
Call it a 5G line for like a rat's ass.
Yeah, whatever. This cannot possibly carry
the only
main
thing-
continuity. So what's going
That's
to
what they'll end
inevitably
up doing.
happen is exactly what Mikey said was going to happen, is DC Comics is going to fucking shut down. If this doesn't work, AT&T is going to be like, no, we don't need you anymore. and they're not gonna sell off these characters because they learned from Marvel's mistake.
Yeah.
With the movie rights and shit.
Yep.
They're gonna lease them out, so you will eventually see these DC Comics characters being published by Marvel Comics, because who else could possibly afford a license for Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman? Forget Flash, Green Lantern, or whomever else.
And you know what?
That's what's going to happen.
This idea completely shits all over the potential that the Robert Pattinson movie could ever possibly have.
You're absolutely right. Actually, you're absolutely right. For all the good this movie could do or could be,
it's gonna be all for
nothing.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
The only good thing that could possibly happen out of this is if Marvel actually does lease out if DC inevitably winds up having to lease out their characters, and Marvel picks them up, which they will. Because
it's Disney,
right? For the sake of crossovers and things like that, which we have not seen in almost or over 20 years since the last Marvel DC crossover back in the late 90s or early 2000s or whatever it was.
Avengers with,
and that's because Joe SWZA basically had so much bullshit to say about Dan Didio and DC characters. It was basically something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing here, it was something like DC Comics is like a porn star who has the biggest dick in the industry but can't get a hard on.
Oh.
He's basically like saying like, well, you've got all of these classic characters that everything else is patterned off of, but you don't know what the fuck to do with it.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. But, I mean, that pissed off a lot of people at DC.
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
That's why we haven't had a crossover in years. So, yeah, there's good things maybe to be had from this, but I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see this 5G thing come to pass in main continuity. Smarten the fuck up and make an Ultimates line. Let it stick. Let people enjoy it. And then when they do enjoy it, then bring it into the main continuity. It took Marvel 10 plus years before they brought the Ultimate line in.
And even then, it was only like
a few characters. Yeah, it was Miles Morales. It was who worked.
Right.
They saw who worked and who didn't.
Yeah.
And they brought them in.
Yep.
It was that simple. And it was mostly just Miles.
Honestly, yeah, because everybody else was an asshole aside from
killed off
killed off. Yeah. Honestly, I really enjoyed Ultimate Spider-Man. I really enjoyed Ultimate X-Men. The Ultimates could kind of go scratch.
See, I like the first series of Ultimates. That was where we got the Chitauri.
Vicious. When he beat the crap out of Giant Man.
Cap was vicious. Everybody else was kind of a dick.
Cap was the man.
Stark respect.
Period.
Hawkeye. That was an improvement on Hawkeye.
Yes, that was.
Anyways.
I mean, the Blob was eating the Wasp.
Ultimatum is an awesome.
Ultimatum
and Ultimate War are two trades that everybody should have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when Cap landed in that fucking den of terrorists and he just looks around and is like, you all know who I am, you all know what I do. And they just fucking threw down their fucking guns. That was great writing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't really feel like getting the shit kicked out of me. I'm good. I give up. Done. Captain America. Love it.
America.
And God almighty, the idea of DC 5G is going to suck. So thank you, Adrian, for letting us know about that. But also, unthank you for letting me know about that.
I mean, I don't actively read or collect DC anyway, and this is not going to catch my interest one iota.
Sad enough, we'll have to review it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, which I will begrudgingly. And
however, when you want to get like people of color, women, etc., involved in comics and make them the front line of stories, you get a book like Marvel's Voices. This is the way to go. You've got a book with various artists, fun characters.
They're trying to say, like, listen, you guys have been kind of like worrying about equality and all this other stuff. We've been creating these characters.
And here, look at these. There's something for everyone here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the way to do it. Sorry to say, DC, Marvel's doing it right in this case.
Yeah.
This is the way.
This
is the way. All right. I didn't read this. It was extra long. It was talky. Wolverine #1.
Wolverine was 2 issues. Two stories.
Okay.
Yes.
The first one is just Wolverine dealing with some
This is a
Krakoan
badass story.
drug dealers. They're taking Krakoan plants, medicine, which are all plant-based, and they're selling it themselves because that has to be a black market.
Right.
Which also the mutants, for the most part, do control through the Hellfire Club. Except some people being extra, and they're causing problems, and Wolverine's dealing with it. But this is just like the other X-Men books, where every once in a while you get a page just full of text. Mm-hmm. And one of those pages breaks down Wolverine's blood. And the best comparison to Wolverine's blood is to be vampire blood.
Uh-huh.
Like, it cannot get sick. It is good for everybody to take. Once it's out of the blood, out of Wolverine, it loses its healing powers almost right away. Like, it might work a little bit on you.
Right.
Like, clean up a scar or something like that, but not like anything.
But it's not going to be a healing factor kind of thing.
No.
Like,
Right,
And
because
you won't inherit
the body
that.
of
Yeah.
somebody else can't replicate those functions.
Very
It
interesting.
was really interesting. And then the whole Wolverine drama is just like, stop playing. And then vampires do show up, because while everybody's focusing on mutants.
it seems to have major ties to the regular X book as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It
Yeah,
definitely does.
yeah.
Well, the whole world's dealing with Krakoa and the mutants. The vampires are building
An army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ends, the first story, with Wolverine running into a group of vampires where they don't want to kill him.
They just want a taste of his blood.
Yeah. And then they go back and give it to Dracula.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're going to have Wolverine versus Dracula?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Wolverine and X-Force versus Dracula.
Yes.
Because X-Force is kind of heavily mentioned in both stories.
Yes.
Okay.
There is some weirdness about somebody's able to just control somebody, and pretty much they use Wolverine to kill his team.
Yep.
But that's fine, because,
Berserker original.
no, the X-Men, they do Resurrection now.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
So, yeah, that
Gold
comes in
balls
handy.
and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eggs.
And the second story was, what's his name? Omega Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
He decides to
This is a
seek
character we
asylum
haven't seen
himself,
for a
yeah.
while.
And there's a nice going back and forth between the two, and it's like, ooh, something's happening.
Well, it
Yeah.
ties in with the
Yeah.
the vampires.
So,
Okay.
Which
So,
is cool.
all in all, it doesn't sound like you didn't like it.
no, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was
Oh, wow.
cool.
I'm just...
Like, artwork wise, I mean,
yeah.
the book was
It's Andy Kubert.
it's just fucking
course.
gorgeous.
Any of the Kubert brothers, you can always count on the artwork being on point.
When it comes to Wolverine, or in my rule is, if it's past a certain volume number, it means companies like effing around with it too much.
Right.
Yeah.
This is volume 7.
Right.
That means 6 times before they've done enough crap for people either not to read it or they just made it minis.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna screw around with Wolverine eventually. I'm bracing
They always
myself for
do
it.
because
So, pretty much
Aside-
bracing for the abrupt end
Yeah.
of this
yeah.
series.
Aside from the Avengers, Wolverine has been shopped and tried to be put out as the poster child for Marvel.
No, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
And
Avengers is up to like at volume 7 as well.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's because they can't decide on a team that's going to stick.
Well, that's also true.
I mean, they can't. They've done that with the X-Men too. I mean, the only team that's
Oh,
actually
please, let's-
stayed as a team for longer
We
than
can't even
any
get
other is
involved
the
in X-Men.
Fantastic Four, and even then, you had the Freedom Foundation, which changed hands a few times.
You've had a few different members of the Fantastic
Yeah.
Four over
but
the years
I mean,
as
like,
well.
at least you know who the OG team is. Like
Sometimes there have even been 5 members, which completely defeats the purpose.
well, I mean, if you throw in Franklin and Valeria, you got 6.
no, sometimes
Just
you've
the
got
family.
like She-Thing and whatnot, and She-Hulk, and there's all
Yeah.
sorts of all sorts of fantastic fucking convolutedness going on.
But I like that approach though with alternate teams. At least from my understanding, is they went the route of giant-size X-Men, where the original team was incapacitated or in some
Sure.
type of shit.
Yeah.
They brought in these
Still,
guys to
the
get them out of it.
greatest substitute team was our 90s New Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved those issues.
Hulk, Spidey,
Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
Grey Hulk.
yeah,
Grey Hulk, yes.
yeah.
Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah, that
So
shit
fucking
was
good.
dope.
And it was only like 2-3 issues, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was
But,
off
like-
the hook.
But come on, like
And
if a
anytime
su-
they've
if a
gotten together
super
again,
team-
it's been dope.
any super team, any super team goes missing, those are the 4 guys you want.
Sure.
I don't know, Ghost Rider is kind of a wild card in there. But yeah, Hulk, Wolverine, and Spider-Man are like your typical go-to. I would probably substitute Cap for in there.
Sure.
But I mean, Cap was an Avenger at that point, and they were
Right,
not
yeah.
selling well. at that point it was Dan Ketch was Ghost Rider, and there was so much awesomeness about Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss him.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too. Ghost Rider was the shit back in the 90s, man.
Yep.
Alright, but speaking of like Volume 7 and what are they doing with all the restarts and shit, why are we at Bloodshot issue 0 again? We just started.
Yeah, I think they do that sometimes. They release a 0 like a few issues in, especially since the movie's coming out March 13th, actually. Friday
Oh
13th.
wow!
Yeah, go figure.
Okay.
Nice.
And you see the trailer more regularly for it. At least I have. I'm not enthusiastic
that.
about it
I gotta watch it.
because you know how I feel about a certain actor.
Yeah.
But
like we just started the new Bloodshot series back in October was around the 0 to issue 1 mark when we actually we were at New York Comic Con. We talked to Kevin Van Hook, who was the co-creator of Bloodshot, and everything was moving forward. Where hey, we're going to introduce the movie, and here's the new series. And
I don't think it's starting up again. Thank God. The problem with Valiant is they created this big old universe, completely connected. So when you have a big old event, the whole universe is affected. So when you restart one thing, you restart everything. And that was a bit asinine.
So there was a big event, and now we got to restart Bloodshot again?
There was a couple. It hasn't restarted yet. I don't think it will. I think issue 8 came out last.
But are we restarting the numbering, if not the whole story? Like
No.
we're just
No.
we're just at
That's
another
shit.
Bloodshot.
It's not jump on friendly.
Uh-huh.
So when it restarts it, the stuff that still happened.
So this is just like almost a 0 issue one shot, if you will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a 0. Like, look, this is some of his past and some of the craziness he has to deal with. And why he has
now,
to
is this
it's
issue
a refresher?
Is this issue catching you up on all the shit that went on with this event?
No, this issue's just look. This is who Bloodshot is. What he's capable of.
It's an introduction.
Yes.
Out of the blue.
Yes.
For no reason.
Because the movie's coming out soon, and they
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like this is
And I'm trusting them
Black
not
Widow
to just
prelude
restart out of the
comic
nowhere.
out.
Yeah, I saw that. But
don't bother. Yeah,
we've
no,
never paid
no,
attention
no.
to preludes and previews and
Yeah.
movie like tie-in
Yeah.
books. That's just a level of continuity that the Pete's Basement Show has never delved into.
It's scary.
Yeah.
The only reason I bother with this because the movie's coming out. Not.
Listen, I thought they were fucking restarting the shit all over again.
I mean, you never know.
Stranger shit has happened.
Yeah, so what's up with Dr. Tomorrow? It's a great title, first
It is.
of all.
It's an interesting, quirky character.
Yeah.
That deals with time travel from an alternate dimension.
It's not even time travel, it's interdimensionary travel.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
How do you feel about that?
I'm alright so far.
Alright.
So far.
Yeah, because I mean, spoiler alert, he pops up in a different time when he gets to this dimension.
Yeah.
So, which you know what, I can get behind that because it's like if you want to talk about like time is not, I mean, time kind of is like a river, but it's kind of not. So you can kind of play around with
Let's
that.
not do
Bit.
this.
But
I'm not even starting.
The big,
I'm
the
not.
big plot hole in this. Okay, spoiler alert. He travels back in time to a different timeline to get help from his younger self. If you could do that, why don't you get help from your older self who already knows how to fight? Who would you want you backing you up in a fight? Young Pete?
No, Young Pete's an
Or
idiot.
another older Pete?
Well, I don't think he has
Same HP.
I don't think he has a choice because the villain in this travels to the exact same time to look for something specific, which apparently I guess wasn't available in any time.
There's
Doesn't
also
the villain look
kind
like
of a.
Doesn't a villain look like him?
There's a bit of
Little
a
bit.
caveat with time travel that you probably wouldn't know because you hate time travel. That you yourself cannot travel forward in time. Like, I can't travel forward to get older Pete to help me with a decision. However, if older Pete wants to come back to me, then I can ask him shit. But I can't go get him. You know what I mean? Because I can't go forward.
That kind of happened.
He can go back.
Thor went and got older Thor to help him.
Yeah, see, that's fucked up. Yeah, you
it
shouldn't
was-
be able
it
to
was
do
horrible.
that.
It was horrible.
That's just your biased opinion.
But I mean, if you're called Dr. Tomorrow, one would assume that you could go into tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is kind of cool about this is like he throws his younger self a belt that matches the one that he's got. And like, is that the source of his power, or?
I think it might be suit based. There's a lot of physics involved in it, negative energy, dark energy, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, because he's an like the Dr. Tomorrow version that changes dimensions and goes back in time is an astrophysicist, which is cool. You know, the kid he comes back to is basically a hotshot baseball player.
So is there actually a lot of science and shit in this, or
not a lot?
Nothing like brain breaking.
Nothing that we need
basically
to bring
like high school physics.
right? Yeah, that was basically my question. Do we need to bring in Craddock for this?
No.
Okay.
But Craddock, I think, would probably dig this.
I think so.
Okay.
So, and the artwork is phenomenal.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Really, really well done.
Valley's been really lucky with good artists.
Oh yeah. Between like them, Mad Cave, and Aftershock, like they find some top talent out there.
For the most part, yeah, that is definitely true. Well, I think that about does it for this week's episode of The Basement Show. Remember, check out New York versus the World on Kickstarter. Our boy Jay the Unstoppable has issue 2 going out. They've got a lot of cool prizes and, you know, just awesome tiers for your contributions. Snow White and the Zombie Apocalypse has their Kickstarter out for issue 2. The Pete's Basement Show loved issue 1, and we highly encourage you to check out issue 2. Trust us, the Basement Show will be kicking in on issue 2, and look for our interview with the creator of Snow White Zombie Apocalypse coming very soon. And, of course, hit us up, questions@petesbasement.com, facebook.com/Pete's Basement, Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere else at Pete's Basement. We want to know what you're reading. Write to us. We don't just want to tell you what our opinions are. We want to hear your opinions about the shit you're reading. Want to get yourself a cool Pete's Basement t-shirt? Head over to represent.com/store/Pete's Basement. There's Pete's Basement stuff. There's Breaking Nerd News stuff. There's Zen Rockstar stuff. Send us a photo of you rocking some of our gear, and we will have it up on the 13th episode in an awesome slideshow of all the people who have bought basement stuff and sent us pictures over the course of the last year or so. Subscribe to The Haul. We send out a really fun newsletter every week. Steffi busts her ass sending this thing out, putting together what me and Ramon are buying each week in the realm of comics. Plus, there's, you know, awesome information about the Basement Show and stuff like that you don't get anywhere else. It's only in the newsletter. We promise you will not be spammed. It's one email per week. Head over to petesbasement.com/The Haul and subscribe. You're going to get an email asking you, are you sure? Then just say yes. That's it. That's all we require of you. And, of course, the other thing we require is that if you'd like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell while you're at it, because Pete's Basement Season 13, we've got a lot of crazy stuff going on, and you don't want to miss a minute. We don't want you to miss a minute. And want to win yourself a really awesome hardcover art book for your tabletop or, you know, coffee table stand. The Art of the Still Life by Todd M. Casey. This is a really fantastic book. It's got samples of awesome, really, really super realistic oil painting, plus how to actually make those oil paintings if you ever endeavor to try it yourself. All you have to do is answer the simple question, what was Vincent van Gogh drinking when he decided it's a good idea to cut off my own ear and paint my self-portrait? Bonus question, why did he do that? What was his motivation? What was his actual motivation in cutting off his ear and painting his self-portrait? And I'll send you probably like a free comic or something. If you happen to know that answer, send your answers to questions@petesbasement.com.
We already got 3.
All right, that's what I like to see. Gumption, motherfuckers. Gumption. Thank you again to Vegetable Tube for all of these awesome gifts.
Thank you.
Yes,
I don't encourage this out of the rest of you. But thank you so much.
Sending it to us? No.
We are
don't listen to him. You want to send us stuff? Go ahead.
We are unworthy of your kindness. Thank you. Thank you so
dope.
much.
Yeah.
Salud. It has been great. We will see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Salud, brother.
Salud. Peace.
And to all of you. Peach Basement is copyrighted 2020. Ripped Productions. All rights reserved. So go fuck yourself.
Maybe. Well, you don't really want to edit.
No, I'm gonna edit this one. I'm editing up until the until episode 13.
Right, and then you're done, skis.
Yeah. Besides, I have to edit this one. My fucking nose is snotting all over the place. That's gonna pop up right now. Not now for you guys watching live. It's not happening now. But right in YouTube. So